Okay, moving back on from the last video, and be forced to write each sentence fragment. I'm being abused so much. This was done so that I would only, by the way, like I noticed, you know, it was getting close to the end of the last video while I was writing this, and I noticed that the hypnosis impaired my ability to finish the sentence, just so that it would be divided into 2 different videos. Be forced to write in each sentence fragment. Before being able to articulate the next sentence fragment. So that I would be forced to articulate, so that I would be unable to articulate, so that I would be unable to determine if the sentence was properly articulated. So that I would be unable to determine if the sentence or sentence fragment was properly articulated before writing it down. So that I would be unable to determine if the sentence or sentence fragment was properly articulated before writing it down. So that because I'd be unable to determine if the sentence or sentence fragment was properly articulated before writing it down. So by the way, when I wrote erased, so it's the word because. Oh, wow. That's perfect. perfect evidence of them tampering with evidence, because so on one of the notebooks that I was mentioning in one of the previous videos that I made today, I have right here, because written down, and I remember this was in the one of the small tiny notebooks that I decided to have fall out of my backpack. Specifically, well, I mean, I was, yeah, just to dispose of the evidence, but so what ended up happening there was what is today's date? Okay, oh, 6/04 22. Um, and so the because acronym an acronym of the word because was in tiny black notebook and I needed to lose that notebook as evidence. I need to lose the evidence in the notebook um, and I needed to lose the evidence in the notebook. Right. Before making these videos, the videos about letter content and post-traumatic suggestions. So that I can use that as evidence. Okay, and then this other part here. Okay, so that's it. That's it. The videos. So I was having tries to think I need to be delayed from. I was having tries to think that the I was having tries to think that the second video of the 4 um second segment of videos regarding drawings is going to be much longer. I'm going to make this so much worse for them. I was going to think I needed to think that the second segment of videos regarding drawings was going to be much longer than the other other 3 segments. Was going to be much longer than the other 3 segments. Just like how this second segment about hypnotic writing impairment is much longer than the others. This is seriously bad. Like this is scary because they're trying to tamper with my evidence, and I'm not gonna let them. I'm putting them in prison. I'm gonna make everything so much worse. So much worse. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make them regret it and wish that they never even tried to tamper with the evidence, because that's how seriously I take this kind of stuff. I don't take that kind of stuff lightly. Like, I'm gonna make sure that they get premium treatment and punishment made special just for their attempts to tamper with evidence. Um, and there's the word because that cued the thought. Um, this is so not good. I was hypnotized to feel angry for this too. So anyways, they're going to prison for it. For the rest of their pathetic, worthless lives. The only value their lives have is being used as an example. Because the death penalty is way too lenient for them. And hypnosis is inhibiting my ability to write. Again, hypnotized to feel angry, resisting post-traumatic suggestions. So, they have to just accept that, and there's nothing that they can do about it because their lives don't matter. They're completely worthless, and they're pathetic. As in, like, literally, the only thing that they're doing is hurting people and killing people. They're worthless. Their feelings don't matter. Their lives don't matter. Their well-being doesn't matter. What matters is that they can't be a risk to public safety. The hypnosis is inhibiting me, so that I would only be able to articulate 3 to 5 words at one time and be forced to write each sentence fragment before being able to articulate the next sentence fragment, because I would be unable to determine if the sentence or sentence fragment was properly articulated before writing it down. I sanitize to think that because also stood for because evidence can use snitching something, but or because evidence can actually It's being repressed from my memory. I'm not tolerating that. Because evidence can actually use what was it? Some erasing. That was it. Because evidence can actually use some erasing. Oh, by the way, I wrote down the wrong month. You know, it's a new month, so I was in the habit of writing 6 instead of 7 for quite a while. And that makes sense. It could have also just been the hypnosis, you know, making me just forget that the next month started. Especially because I noticed that I was specifically focused on the day, because it's after midnight right now, and it's actually the 5th and not the 4th, to be technical, but I'm just putting down the 4th because that's what I'm uploading it on YouTube as. Because what's that? Evidence can actually use some erasing. And because because evidence can actually use snitching eventually. Is that what I said? Okay, anyways. Hypnosis isn't hitting me, hypnosis isn't hitting me, hypnosis isn't hitting me. So it's the word that was cued, that cued this entire thing. The word because. Because Q thought that they disposed of the evidence, I would have evidence they disposed of because they didn't want to go to prison. That's what the because they didn't want to go to prison. Okay. Anyways. Okay, I gotta write faster, gotta write faster, gotta write faster. A complete inability would also consume more time, so that I would be forced to rewrite it. Okay, so this is the thing here. Like that Gnosis is repressing it from my memory. It almost seems as if this was really specified to specifically be repressed from my memory. And then I was hypnotized to become angry with that because of that. Which we were able to kind of see with my writing being somewhat like almost aggressive just barely, and even my facial expression too. Okay. I also wanted to point out, so I would be distracted while I would be trying to multitask too, oftentimes talking, or just even distracted, thinking about something else while writing, just so that I would make a mistake in my handwriting and then have to rewrite it. Pattern of writing impairment 1, a complete and a complete inability to properly articulate and write. A complete sentence adequately the first time. To a complete inability to properly articulate, to form complete sentences. A complete inability to form complete sentences while writing, and typically only being capable of articulating sentence fragments. I already say that though. Okay, so it's that wording there where it says a complete inability to form. I need to change that. Pattern of hypnotic writing impairment. I'm hypnotized to feel tense because of it too, and even to feel dysphoria because I'm resisting that post-hypnotic suggestion, and to feel euphoria for tensing my back because I'm being abused with hypnosis. So I'm just pointing all that out right now because I'm going to make everything that they do worse for them. And the hypnosis is really inhibiting me right now adequately. Because I'm resisting the post-hypnotic suggestions and they need to try to make me look bad for it, and the hypnosis is still inhibiting my ability to write quickly enough, which is even more evidence because I'm talking about it and they're abusing me. There's my back tension again. Complete. Okay. Because I don't want to say a complete inability because what I'm trying to describe is how I'm only able to articulate partial sentences or sentence fragments. Okay. I noticed that I'm hypnotized to get tense and everything like that. Feel confusion and everything. I'm just trying to write anyway, so I'm pointing it out. It's not gonna work. I'm hypnotized to feel angry and tense because of it. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And I can't be confused for it either, because that's what the hypnosis is doing to me. They told me they were gonna take me to the laundromat. They hypnotized me to feel dizziness, dysphoria, confusion, drowsiness, to experience memory loss, to I was hypnotized to tap on my hand with a pencil and to think of a metaphor. That was cute, just to distract me from finishing that. So they told me they were going to take me to the laundromat. They hypnotized me to feel dysphoria, drowsiness, dizziness, disorientation, to experience memory loss, and to even feel nausea, to deter me from, or whenever I would attempt to do illicit, undesired behaviors. They hypnotized me to feel like my brain was spinning on a washing machine on the spin cycle, turning to mush. And they told me that they were doing that to me because they were, quote, brainwashing me. I don't know if you noticed the changes in my facial expressions while I was saying that as well. Because I kind of like went into a trance, had difficulty remembering it because it was being repressed from my memory. So I had to strain to start doing it. And then that feeling of the strain would be used to make me feel euphoria for making the face, and to bypass my critical faculty, have it be elicited undetected by my conscious mind and critical faculty. Mostly conscious awareness, right? But a complete inability to properly articulate and write a complete adequately the first time. That just happened again. I'm going to go ahead and show you the piece of paper right there. Complete adequately. It's supposed to say complete sentence adequately. And I'm rewriting this just because like the eraser marks are kind of more hypnosis isn't hitting me right now. 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 Pattern of writing impairment. One. So anyways, I can also use that piece of paper for evidence, but that's not what I was trying to say. And then there's the face again that I'm hypnotized to make. My back's tensing up because I'm hypnotized, and I'm being abused with hypnosis. Let me see. Also, my handwriting is extremely slow right now. The more I'm pointing it out and the more I'm trying to write faster, the more I'm hypnotized to feel it being very strenuous. A complete sentence adequately the first time. Okay, alright, well, how do I want to phrase it? a limited capacity to articulate of an inability to articulate limited capacity of only being able to articulate sentence fragments comprising of comprised of 3 to 5 words on average while writing. Of only being able to articulate three to five words at one time. And again, the back pain. So I'm just pointing that out. The hypnosis will only allow me to articulate the next sentence fragment after writing the previous sentence fragment. The hypnosis would only allow me to articulate the next sentence fragment after writing the previous sentence fragment. Moving on. This was done so that I would only be able to articulate 3 to 5 words at one time and be forced to write each sentence fragment before being able to articulate the next sentence fragment. Or I could even say okay. There's also a missing word in here. I'm gonna point that out right now. Two. Only able to articulate now, right? Allow me to. Only allow me to. The next. Allow me to. The next segment. Okay. articulate that, and I needed to write articulate right there. So the hypnosis would only allow me to the next sentence fragment after writing the previous sentence fragment. It will only allow me to articulate.
What do you think? I just made that.
Oh, dude, that's pretty dope.
You like
I like
that?
it. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's a little business of hers and I's.
Dude, this is so.
I just made this. Yeah, we make bracelets. They're gemstones. That, believe it or not, that one that's square looks like metal. It's not. It's a gemstone.
Okay.
Called hematite, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that before.
Yeah.
It's a magnet.
I'll have to show you some. I'll have to show you some of the work we do.
Cool. Oh yeah.
All right.
Would only allow me to articulate the next so I also wanted to point out there's the back tension again, articulate, and hypnosis isn't hitting me. I'm trying to talk right now and it's not allowing me to. Writing that darker, and I was also hypnotized to feel like I had to squint to read dark handwriting that I would have to erase and rewrite, just because they're abusing me so much. And moving on. Okay, writing now. A limited capacity of only being able to articulate three to five words at one time while writing. The hypnosis would inhibit my ability to articulate the rest of the sentence. So first of all, able to articulate. This is happening again. This is not okay. 3 to 5 words on average Um, at one time on average. Alrighty. Okay. And then sentence fragments. That's what I was hypnotized to exclude too already. Sentence fragments or portions consisting of or comprised of.